You don't need to touch her body to awaken her desire. Just touch her mind and she'll crave you in silence. Let me ask you something, my friends. What if I told you that the most powerful seduction doesn't come from your hands, but from your silence? What if I told you that women feel the strongest pull, not when you're close, but when you're untouchably calm, confident, and slightly out of reach? Stay with me, because today we're diving into the kind of energy that turns women on without a single touch. But before we go deeper into this unspoken fire, go ahead and press that like button, hit subscribe, and let's begin shaping you into the kind of man who doesn't chase attraction. He commands it. Hey folks, imagine you're in a room, you say nothing, you don't move, and yet she keeps glancing at you. Her thoughts spiral, her breath shortens. Not because you touched her, but because you didn't. You became the mystery. You became the silence that screamed louder than words. You see, most guys out here think attraction is about doing more compliments, more effort, more touching, but that's the trap. Real masculine energy doesn't do, it pulls. Like gravity, it doesn't explain itself. It just makes everything revolve around it. As the Stoics say, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. And today, my friends, we're conquering every lie that told you physical touch was your only weapon. We're stepping into a higher game, where you're the flame, and she's the one drawn to the heat you barely show. So if you're ready to unlock this unseen power, stick around, because what's coming next will change how women see you forever. Comment below, I attract with silence. And remember, stay calm, stay powerful, stay rare. Number 1, the power of presence. Stop trying to prove. Start being still. A lion doesn't need to announce that it's the king of the jungle. Its silence commands the entire forest. Let that quote sink in for a second, my friends, because when it comes to turning a woman on without even laying a single finger, it all starts with this: your presence. Not your words, not your money, not your compliments, your presence. That thing you carry when you walk into a room and the air just shifts. That feeling that makes people turn their heads, not because you made noise, but because you didn't. Imagine this. You walk into a cafe. You don't say a word. You don't try to impress. You just sit down, grounded, calm, collected. And across the room, she notices you. She doesn't even know why. Maybe it's the way you aren't fidgeting, or the fact that you're not glued to your phone, or maybe it's that rare energy of a man who looks like he's not seeking anything, because he already has himself. That, my friends, is power. That is presence. And that's the first fire that sparks in her mind. Now I know what some of you are thinking. But if I don't say something, won't she lose interest? Don't I need to make her laugh, compliment her, show her something? And here's the truth bomb most people don't want to hear. Trying too hard is the biggest turn-off. Women aren't turned on by pressure. They're turned on by magnetism. And magnetism doesn't beg. It attracts. The lie society sold you is that you have to prove yourself to be worthy. You have to perform, flex, chase, text first, follow up, and overthink every move like it's a strategy game. But that kind of energy? That's not masculine. It's frantic, it's fearful, and women can smell fear. She doesn't want to be hunted down. She wants to feel like she's stepping into the world of a man who doesn't need her, but chooses her. Big difference. The challenge is this: silence is uncomfortable for most men. Stillness feels like weakness. They think, if I'm not doing something, I'm losing her. But let me flip that lie right now. Real masculine presence is not passive, it's potent. It's the fire that doesn't chase the wind. It just burns, and everything else adjusts to it. Think of nature. The sun doesn't move toward the flower, it just rises and the flower turns toward it. That's what presence is. It's not about pursuit, it's about becoming the kind of man she turns toward, because she feels the strength in your stillness. Presence means you are deeply rooted. You're not reacting to her every move, not seeking her approval, not trying to fill the silence with noise. You're listening without needing to respond. You're watching without overthinking. You are so calm in your core that it makes her nervous in the best way, because you've become unpredictable. You've become rare. And yes, it will be hard at first, because most men are trained to seek validation like addicts. They're uncomfortable with stillness because they've never built a solid identity underneath the noise. But you're different now. You're becoming something else, a presence, a force, a man who doesn't shake when the world pushes him because he's anchored from within. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's where your power lives, right there, in that inner fortress, in your ability to sit across from her, say nothing, and still make her heart race. So today, stop trying to impress, stop trying to entertain, just be. Let your presence speak for you. Watch how the room shifts. Watch how she starts noticing you without even knowing why. That's the first step in turning her on without a single touch, by becoming unforgettable without needing to perform. Comment below, "My presence is power." Show them, show her, show yourself, and stay with me, because what's coming next, that's when we take it even deeper. Number 2, the eye game. Let your gaze undress her soul. The eyes are silent weapons. They touch where words can't reach. Let me tell you something, my friends. If you can't look a woman in the eyes without flinching, you haven't mastered attraction. You've just been playing it safe. You see, most men are terrified of real eye contact. Not the quick glances, not the casual stares. I'm talking about that still, unwavering gaze. The kind that makes her heart skip a beat. The kind that makes her feel like you see something in her she's been trying to hide from the world. And when you can hold that gaze, without words, without flinching, without needing anything in return, that's when she starts to melt from the inside out. Now, imagine this. You're sitting across from her. The world is noisy around you. Cars outside, conversations nearby, distractions everywhere. But you're not distracted. You're not looking at your phone. You're not scanning the room. You're not shifting your body every 5 seconds like a nervous schoolboy. You're just there, eyes locked, calm, unbothered, present. And suddenly, she feels something she didn't expect. A pull, a curiosity, a subtle electricity that starts crawling up her spine, not because you touched her, but because you saw her. And let's be honest, most men never go there. They're either too afraid to make it awkward or too eager to overdo it and end up looking like they're trying to hypnotize her. But here's the truth. Eye contact, when done right, is not aggressive. It's not creepy. It's masculine stillness. It's bold, but not forceful. It's confident, but not arrogant. It's the look of a man who sees beyond the surface. And that, my friends, is what undresses her more than any touch ever could. Some of you might be wondering, what if she looks away? What if it feels intense? What if it's uncomfortable? That's exactly the point. Let it be uncomfortable. That's where the magic begins. Because when she looks away first, it's not rejection, it's vulnerability. It means you've stirred something. It means your gaze has weight. It means you've reached a depth she wasn't ready for, but she won't forget. A woman doesn't fall for the guy who just looks at her. She falls for the one who sees her, really sees her. The small expressions, the slight hesitation in her smile, the way her eyes flicker when she's unsure. The little things no one else notices. That's what presence is made of. And when she feels that, she starts craving that gaze. She starts missing it, even when you're not around. Think of your eyes as a doorway, not a spotlight. You're not shining on her to get attention. You're opening something up that invites her in. The softness of your gaze, that calm, low-intensity burn. It's like a fire that doesn't roar. It just stays lit. She can feel the warmth, even from across the room. Here's the catch. Your gaze must be rooted in truth. You can't fake this. If you're just doing it to get a reaction, she'll smell the insecurity. But if your eye contact is grounded in stillness, if it comes from a place where you don't need her response, then it becomes magnetic, powerful, undeniable. Because now you're no longer trying to impress her. You're showing her you already see value in her and in yourself. The philosopher Rumi once said, "The soul has been given its own ears to hear things the mind does not understand." The same is true with the eyes. Your eyes will say things your mouth could never phrase correctly. And if you use them right, she'll start wondering, why can't I stop thinking about him, even if the only thing you did was look? So next time you're with her, test it. Lock eyes, not with hunger, not with desperation, but with calm curiosity. Let her break it first, and when she looks back again, and she will, meet her with that same calm, soft strength. Let her feel that you're not just a man passing through her world. You're the man who left a mark, without ever laying a hand. Comment below, "My eyes speak desire." Show them, show her, show yourself, and stay with me, because what we're about to unlock next goes even deeper. Number 3, the voice that pulls her closer. Slow, deep, intentional. It's not the loud voice that seduces, it's the calm one that controls the room without ever raising a tone. Let's get something straight, my friends. If your voice is rushing, high-pitched, or desperate for a reaction, you're not creating attraction. You're creating tension, and not the good kind. Women don't want to feel like you're throwing words at them. They want to feel like your words were carved slowly, deliberately, like each syllable is a decision, not a reaction. Because the right voice, the right tone, that's a spell. And when you master it, she leans in, she slows down, she listens deeper, and she starts wondering, why does this man sound like he's already in control? Now picture this, you're sitting with her, and instead of jumping into rapid-fire conversation like most guys do, you speak slowly. You pause when you need to. You don't rush to fill silence. You let each word breathe, like it's carrying weight, like it means something. And what happens next? She starts responding with her body. Her posture shifts, her eyes soften, her breathing changes. Why? Because your voice is leading her nervous system into relaxation, into submission, into curiosity. And that, my friends, is how you turn her on, without ever touching her. Let's break the lie right here. It's not what you say that matters most. It's how you say it. You could say something as simple as, "I like talking to you," and if you rush it, if your voice is shaky or nervous, it lands flat. But if you slow it down, lower your tone just a little, and let that line settle in the silence after you say it, now it lands like thunder. It's like music. The space between the notes is just as important as the notes themselves. That pause, that silence, that breath right before you speak. That's what creates tension. That's what builds anticipation. Women don't fall for guys who talk the most. They fall for the ones who make their words matter. And when you speak with calm, grounded authority, she feels like she can trust you, like you've got nothing to prove, like you've already won something inside yourself, and now she wants to understand what that is. Let me give you a metaphor, folks. Think of your voice like a river. Most men are like floods, chaotic, fast, spilling over everywhere, drowning everything in their path. But a high-value man, his voice is like a slow-moving river, steady, controlled, and yet it carves canyons with time. It shapes everything around it without ever needing to scream. That's what your voice can do when it's aligned with presence. Now here's the fun part. Suggestive language. No, I'm not talking about corny pickup lines or anything too obvious. I'm talking about subtle, subconscious cues. Instead of saying, "You're so pretty," say, "There's something dangerous about you, I like it." Now she's not just receiving a compliment, she's decoding a mystery. She's thinking, what does he mean by that? You've just created tension. You've just started a game, and she's already playing. Another trick, ask questions that go beneath the surface. Instead of, "What do you do for fun?" Try, "What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't told anyone yet?" Boom, emotional vulnerability, deeper energy. Her mind is now not just in the room, it's in you. And yes, it will feel strange at first, because we're taught to fill every gap with noise. We're told that silence is awkward and that confidence means being loud. But real confidence whispers. It doesn't have to prove. It just is. And when she hears that in your voice, she doesn't just listen, she feels. And once she starts feeling, you've already won. As the great Bruce Lee once said, "The stillness in stillness is not the real stillness. Only when there is stillness in movement does the universal rhythm manifest." Your voice isn't just sound, it's rhythm, it's timing, it's masculine grace. Learn to slow down, learn to breathe between your sentences. Let the words fall heavy, like they've been carefully chosen, not thrown around. Comment below, "My voice creates tension." Say it out loud, then write it. Show them, show her, show the world around you what it feels like to hear a man who's not desperate for attention because his tone already commands it. Stay with me, my friends, because what's coming next will make her crave your mystery, not your touch. Number 4, mystery over availability. Give her just enough to starve for more. A woman doesn't fall for the man who gives her everything. She falls for the one who gives her just enough to keep wondering. Let me tell you something, my friends. Curiosity is the drug, not attention, not approval, not availability. Curiosity, that's what makes her check her phone. That's what makes her replay your words. That's what keeps you living rent-free in her mind long after you're gone. You don't need to flood her with energy. You need to withdraw it like gold. A little glimpse, a little edge, a little hint that there's more beneath the surface, but not enough for her to ever feel full. That's the secret. That's what drives her wild. Now imagine this. You're in a conversation. She asks you what you did last weekend. Most guys, they overshare. They explain every detail like they're reporting to a boss. But you smile slightly and say, "It was interesting, but I'll tell you about it another time." Boom, right there. You didn't lie, you didn't dodge, but you left a question hanging in the air like smoke. You gave her just enough to taste the heat, but not enough to cool her craving. And now you're different. You see, most men make the mistake of being too available too soon. They spill their whole story, every thought, every emotion, hoping that transparency will win her heart. But listen close. Availability is not the same as intimacy. Just because she knows all about you doesn't mean she feels you. And what she really craves isn't your facts, it's your layers, your depth. That quiet edge that says, "You don't get all of me just because you asked." Let's break the illusion. Being mysterious doesn't mean you're hiding something. It means you value your inner world enough not to hand it out like a flyer. It means you understand this truth. What is scarce becomes sacred. Think about the stories that stick with you. They're never the ones that gave you every answer in the first chapter. They're the ones that left you on the edge of your seat. The ones that pulled you in slowly, page by page, chapter by chapter. You couldn't stop reading because you needed to know what happens next. Be that story. Here's where it gets powerful. When you hold back just a little, you create space. And in that space, her imagination takes over. That's when she starts filling in the blanks. That's when her desire starts writing its own script. And the truth is, the version of you she builds in her mind, it's always more exciting than anything you could force out loud. She starts thinking, why is he like this? What hasn't he told me? What's behind that calm? And when she's asking questions, she's invested. Metaphor time. You ever walk by a bakery and the smell hits you? They didn't hand you a full cake. They didn't stuff it in your face. They let the scent drift into the air. That smell alone pulls people in. It makes them want what they haven't tasted yet. That's what you are. You're not the cake on display. You're the scent she can't follow to the source. You're the question she can't answer. You're the man she can't quite figure out. And now she's obsessed. And yeah, at first, it might feel strange. You've been trained to be polite, to be open, to give all the details. But this game isn't about being rude. It's about being intentional. It's about knowing that you don't owe anyone your full truth unless they've earned it. It's about shifting from, here I am, love me, to, here's a glimpse, follow the trail if you dare. One of the wisest things ever said was by Seneca. It is quality rather than quantity that matters. The same goes for your energy, your time, and especially your words. When you become more selective, you become more magnetic. When you give less, you're remembered more. And when she realizes that she can't just access all of you, that she has to earn it, she won't just be interested, she'll be hooked. So today, stop giving everything away. Let her wonder. Let her lean in. Let her chase a little. Because when you become the man who could open up at any moment, but chooses not to, you stop being average. You start being unforgettable. Comment below. Mystery is my power. Let her feel it. Let the world watch. Let yourself rise. And stay with me, because next we go into the part of you that makes her feel not just curious, but seen. And that's when it gets real. Number 5. Make her feel seen, not scanned. She's not waiting to be impressed. She's waiting to be understood. Let me tell you something most men never figure out. While everyone else is busy looking at her, she's starving to be seen. Not for her body, not for her beauty, but for the strange little details she hides. The parts of her no one asks about, the things she thinks are too weird, too soft, too complicated to share with just anyone. And when you are the one who notices those things, that's when the game changes. That's when she stops seeing you as just another guy and starts seeing you as the man who got in without even touching her. You see, my friends, most men operate like scanners. They look, they assess, they categorize. She's hot, she's smart, she's different. But they never take the time to actually observe, to listen with stillness, to study the invisible. And women feel that. They feel when your attention is just a surface-level swipe. They feel when you're speaking just to fill silence, not to connect. And the moment they sense that, they emotionally clock out. Now imagine this. She's telling a story, something small. Maybe it's a random memory from her childhood. Maybe it's her weird love for rainy days, or the fact that she always double knots her laces because of a habit she picked up as a kid. Most guys, they nod, pretend to listen, and forget it 5 minutes later. But you catch it, you tuck it away, and then, maybe hours later, maybe days, you bring it back up. You mentioned you love the sound of rain. I thought of you when the sky opened up this morning. And just like that, bam, you just touched her soul without laying a finger on her. That's what it means to make her feel seen. And let me tell you, when a woman feels seen, really seen, something happens in her nervous system. Her defenses soften, her walls crack, and she starts thinking, how does he know me like that? And the answer is simple. Because you listened for more than just words. You listened for meaning. You watched her eyes, her pauses, her energy shifts. You made her feel like who she is beneath the surface is not only noticed, but valued. Here's the truth most men are too distracted to realize. It's not the loudest compliment that lands, it's the quiet recognition. Anyone can say, "You're beautiful," but not everyone can say, "There's something about the way you light up when you talk about your art." That's the real beauty. You didn't flatter her, you witnessed her, you reflected back something she probably forgot was even there. And now she's hooked. Not because of your looks, not because of your money, but because you gave her an experience most men can't give her, emotional safety. And I get it. This takes patience. It takes stillness. It means you're not thinking about what to say next. You're not performing. You're present. You're awake. And yes, it might feel unnatural at first, especially if you've been conditioned to lead with bravado. But here's the beautiful part. When you make her feel seen, you don't have to do more. You've already done what 99% of men don't. There's a reason people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. And if you make her feel like she doesn't have to perform to be worthy of your attention, she'll remember you long after the conversation ends. She'll feel your presence in the quiet moments of her day. And that's when the connection begins, not with your hands, but with your awareness. Metaphor time. Think of her as a painting that most people glance at for 5 seconds and move on. But you're the man who stands there, who takes in the texture, the brushstrokes, the emotion behind the canvas. You're not just seeing the art, you're seeing the artist. And that kind of man? He's unforgettable. So here's your challenge, my friends. Stop scanning, start seeing, pay attention. Listen for the things beneath her words. Let her feel that she doesn't have to scream to be heard. Let her feel that her quietest stories matter. Comment below. I see her soul. Say it, mean it, live it. Show the world around you that you're not just another voice in the noise. You're the silence that makes her feel safe. Stay with me, because next, we turn safety into seduction. Number 6, the slow burn. Stop rushing the spark and let her ignite herself. You don't need to chase the fire, just become the space where it burns longer. Let's end with a truth most men never want to hear. Rushing ruins everything. Attraction isn't a microwave. It's not instant. It's not loud. It's not supposed to explode in the first 5 minutes. It's a slow burn, a low, smoldering fire that starts deep in the mind and makes its way to the body only when the tension has matured. And most guys, they kill it before it even begins. Why? Because they can't sit still. They can't let her lean in. They try to force the flame and end up blowing it out. My friends, seduction is not an act. It's a rhythm, and when you rush, you're out of sync. She can feel it. When you talk too much, respond too fast, try too hard, initiate touch too soon, she feels it all. You're not leading the dance. You're dragging her across the floor. And the more you chase, the more she withdraws. Not because she's not interested, but because you didn't give her enough time to become curious. You stole the mystery before it could breathe. Imagine this. You light a candle. Now, if you blow on it constantly, what happens? It dies. But if you leave it alone, let it catch, let it build heat slowly, it starts warming the entire room. That's you. You're the candle. And the woman in front of you? She's not looking for fireworks. She's looking for something real, something that doesn't demand, doesn't chase, doesn't try to convince her, just exists in its own steady glow. You want her to desire you. Let her discover you, piece by piece. Let her imagination do the work you used to do out of desperation. Let her sit in the silence after your last sentence and wonder what you'll say next. Let her think about you the moment she walks away. Not because you overwhelmed her, but because you understated yourself. Here's the lie we break right now. You don't have to move fast to win her attention. In fact, the slower you move, the more in control you look. The man who doesn't rush is the man who looks like he has options, like he's not afraid to lose. And that's attractive. That's alpha. That's rare. Women are intuitive. They pick up on emotional tone faster than you think. If your energy says, I need this to work, she'll retreat. But if your energy says, I'm here and I'm good either way, she'll lean in without even realizing why. The key is in your detachment, in your ability to withhold. Not because you're playing games, but because you respect the power of pacing. Think of it like a book. The best ones, they don't throw the plot twist in chapter 1. They build, they create tension, they drop hints, they make you turn the page because you have to know more. Be that book. Be the slow burn that builds with every chapter. Be the energy that makes her miss the story when it's not around. And yes, I get it. Slowing down feels unnatural in a world of instant gratification. You're told to strike while it's hot, to go for it, to make your move before someone else does. But real power isn't impulsive. Real power is patient. Real power knows its value. And that's the kind of energy that doesn't just turn her on, it haunts her, it lingers. As Lao Tzu once said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So why are you in such a rush to prove yourself? Let her feel your presence without pressure. Let the tension rise until she starts reaching for you. Not because you forced her to, but because she couldn't help it. So here's your final shift. Slow. Everything down. Let the space between your words work for you. Let your pauses become louder than your presence. And let your silence invite her curiosity instead of begging for her attention. Comment below. I move with power, not pressure, not panic, power. Show her, show yourself, show the world what it looks like when a man doesn't need to chase the spark, because he is the fire. And if this entire message stirred something inside you, if it made you remember what kind of man you were meant to be, then do one thing right now, like the video, subscribe, and stay close, because this is just the beginning of something bigger. Something deeper, something only the stillest men ever master. Your next evolution doesn't arrive with noise, it arrives with presence, and she's going to feel it without a single touch.